Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We have my wild card weekend picks. I'm excited for this one. First thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about my record all throughout the year. I did not go through and count where I probably missed a game or two. I have no idea what happened, but my numbers aren't the same. Yeah, I'm off by like 7 games, which I don't know how that happened, but that is what it is. I went 146 and 76 against the money line. With the money line, I was 65.7% accurate, so that's not too bad with picking NFL games. That's not too bad. Against the spread, I was 118 and 97. With spread, I was a 54.8%, so that's not great, not as good at all. But you know, spreads are kind of hard. I'm gonna try to see what my best and my worst week were. My best week money line was week 14. And man, for money line, I went 12-1. The only game I missed was Saints at Jets. Still super upset about that one. And then against the spread, I was 10-3 twice. I went 10-3 in week 14 as well. So week 14, great week for me. And then I went 10-3 in week 6. And I also went 11-2 that week too. So that was pretty close to being one of my best weeks. I mean, yeah, it wasn't too bad. I wasn't crazy good, wasn't terrible, so, you know, we'll take it. But now the moment you've all been waiting for, we're going to talk about wild card weekend and see what my picks are. So with here, I'm gonna be using CBS like I have all year. The weird thing is, like, the way that they've spread it out, it's like a paragraph now, so that's kind of interesting, so I'm gonna have to read more. I'm gonna just kind of like make it scroll all the way down as I'm talking about it, because I don't know how else, I don't want to keep a big chunk on the screen, I don't know. But John Hankins was a non-participant on Wednesday. It is Friday now, so I don't know how updated this is. Casey Hayward, Josh Jacobs, and Darren Waller were all limited. I've seen that they're all expected to go except for Jonathan Hankins. I don't think he practiced yesterday or today. I don't even know how to refer to this. But Bengals receiver T. Higgins was on the injury report. Apparently he only missed 2 snaps of practice. I don't know why they really put him on there, but that is what it is. Josh Tupou missed practice. He's probably going to be out, but everybody else returned to practice. So Ricardo Allen, Stanley Morgan, and Jalen Davis were all back to practice. So that's pretty good. But yeah, the spread for this game is 5.5 points. I think the Bengals opened at 6.5 points, so it did get bet down to 1 point. This is going to be a really interesting ball game. You've got the curse of Bo Jackson, what the Bengals are dealing with. You have the Raiders probably having one of the weirdest seasons in NFL history with John Gruden and Henry Ruggs both in the same season. It's just so weird. Both teams have had really good seasons and both teams are good. I really don't know who I think is going to win this game. I mean, the more I think about it, the more I flip-flop. For a second I feel really good, and then a second I feel really bad. So I don't know. It's hard because I'm a Bengals fan. I think the Bengals are going to be able to pull it off. I think they just have the firepower to. I'm not sure if the Raiders keep up to it. Max Crosby is incredible, so he obviously scares me. He could be an issue. If you come out in the same look a lot, which the Raiders do, they run cover 3 like 60% of the time, something crazy. Joe Burrow should probably be able to pick you apart. I don't think the Bengals are going to cover 5.5 though. I do think the Raiders are going to cover that. I think it's going to be a very close game. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game too. So I would probably take the under and the Raiders plus 5.5 and the Bengals money line. But that is my pick. I think the Bengals end the curse. Let's see what happens. I hope my spread's right too. I think it's going to be a close game. I really don't think it's going to be a blowout. It's the NFL playoffs, so I don't think there's going to be a lot of blowouts this time. And right here, the Saturday night game, we have the New England Patriots at the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are 4.5 point favorites. The Patriots had 13 players on the injury report. That is insane. Jamie Collins and Isaiah Wynn were 2 non-participants, so that's not great. Other 11 were all limited, so they'll all likely go. I know Christian Barmore suffered an injury, so they weren't really sure about him. Besides that, Kyle Duggar, Donta Hightower, Damian Harris, and Jacoby Myers were all limited, so all back to practice. They've got Cole Beasley was limited, and Emmanuel Sanders was a full participant, except with F.A. Bada. I don't know how to say his name. Apologize. But yeah, so the Bills are relatively healthy. Patriots kind of banged up, but it seems like a lot of those guys are going to play. This is a tough game as well. This is a divisional team. One, I'd probably take the under here. I don't expect this to be a high-scoring game whatsoever. When divisional teams play, especially in the playoffs, I feel like it's even tighter than usual. So I think the under is definitely the play in this game. I don't know what the weather is going to be, but I don't know. To me, a lot of what I think is going to happen in the playoffs is based off quarterback play, and I really think that the Bills have the huge advantage at quarterback here. I think Josh Allen is incredible. I think he had a great season. So I think the Bills are going to win and cover. I just think they're the better team right now. I think the Patriots have a really good defense, but I think the Bills can work around that. I think they're going to let Josh Allen cook. They're going to let him do everything. Run, pass, he's going to do it all. I'm just not sure if I think Mac Jones is particularly ready for the spotlight. I think Bill Belichick is going to come with a good defensive game plan, hence why I think the under is going to hit but I think the Bills are going to win and cover this game against the Patriots. The next game is the Philadelphia Eagles at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are 8.5-point favorites. The Eagles had 12 players on the injury report. 4 players did not participate. Fletcher Cox, Lane Johnson, and Jason Kelsey were given rest days. That's normal. Josh Sweat was the only player missing because of illness, so I think he's likely to be back. Miles Sanders, Sean Bradley, Landon Dickerson, Andre Dillard, Jalen Hurts all practiced. So they seem like they're all going to play. They might be a little banged up, but they'll play. Shaquille Barrett and Jason Pierre-Paul both practiced. Jamal Dean, Mike Evans, Ryan Jensen, Sean Murphy Bunting, and Rashad Perriman were all limited. Ronald Jones, Kyle Grayson, and Anthony Nelson did not practice at all. This is an interesting game because I still think the Bucs aren't super healthy. Their secondary still seems to be banged up. Their receivers now are super banged up, and then you also have AB with the whole naked thing. I think that is going to hurt them, but I don't think that's really going to hurt them against the Eagles. Now, I'm pretty sure Tom Brady did not cover against an NFC East team this year. I think this could be where you see it happen. The only thing that scares me is that since the Bucs don't have their explosive receivers, I really think this Eagles secondary could maybe give them some problems and make it so they have to run the ball. And if they do that, I don't know if I think the Bucs are going to cover 8.5. In my mind, the play for me is Bucs win, Eagles cover. But then again, it is Tom Brady. He could throw it to anybody and just throw it across the yard. But I think the Eagles are going to cover. I think the interesting thing is how well the Bucs defense will match up against Eagles offense. They're great at run defense. Eagles obviously running is their offense. So that's going to be an interesting matchup to see. But I'm going to take the Bucs to win and the Eagles to cover 8.5. That's just a lot of points. Both teams on the playoffs. Eagles haven't beaten a winning team. But I think they can keep this game close, and I think the NFL will keep it close. So those are my picks. The next game, which is a very, very fun game, we have the 49ers at the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys are 3-point favorites. The Niners held out 5 players from practice. 2 were due to injury. Trent Williams and Elijah Mitchell did not practice due to injury. Nick Bosa, George Kittle, and Alex Mack were given rest days. I expected that, especially going into this week. You want to give your guys that are kind of banged up vets a little bit of rest for the game. Jimmy G was limited, along with 7 other players that they don't list here. So pretty healthy for them. If Trent Williams or Elijah Mitchell won't go, that's going to be an issue, I would say. Keanu Neal was limited, only guy of note to me there. Tony Pollard was a full participant with Ezekiel Elliott as well, and Trayvon Diggs. So yeah, it seems like they're fairly healthy. Everybody's off the COVID list that they need to be. This is, again, an interesting matchup. I think the Cowboys defense has been playing really well, so that's a key thing here. But I think the Niners can physically dominate them if they want to. I think the Cowboys kind of thrive under pass defense because, one, they have Trayvon Diggs, who's very good, and then you have a lot of pressure that you can get there, but I'm not sure how good they are at stopping the run. I'm not going to look at their stats, but I could see the 49ers just mauling them and really establishing the run early and often. But the issue to me is I think Jimmy G is the perfect quarterback that can make Trayvon Diggs' life really easy. If he underthrows a ball, Trayvon Diggs is going to pick it off, and that's not going to be good for them. For the Cowboys, again, the Niners secondary isn't super healthy, I don't think. I think they have budget injuries super early that made everybody go down. So the pass defense for the Niners makes me a little worried with how Dak's been playing of late, but again, they just had Michael Gallup go down, but they still have Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb. That's not an easy duo to stop, especially when you can run the ball with guys like Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott. So this game's tough. I don't have anything I can do for an upset, but I'm going to take the upset here. There's going to be one, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to take the Niners. I think they win and cover this game. I think if they can run the ball and dominate, and they don't let Jimmy G make stupid decisions, I think they can win this game. They just have to establish the run. They got to stick with it. You got to make sure that Kittle can eat a little bit too, especially once you get Debo involved. I really think that this offense can attack this Cowboys defense. So give me the Niners to win and cover. They're my upset pick. The next game is a very weird one. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs are 12.5-point favorites. Najee Harris was held out of practice. Well, started slowly with an elbow injury. Ben Roethlisberger with a pec injury and a right shoulder practice, but was limited. Same with Arthur Mallett, and Dan Moore Jr. was a full go. The Chiefs had 9 players on the injury report. 7 of them were full participants. Tyreek Hill, Orlando Brown, Travis Kelce, Darrell Williams, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire were both limited. This, again, is a huge mismatch. The Chiefs are probably just a more talented team. All the stuff you heard Ben say this week are really trying to get his team hyped up by the fact that they're huge underdogs. I don't like double-digit favorites in the playoffs. I just don't like it. It looks wrong, but I'm going to take it. I mean, I'm going to take the Chiefs to want to cover this game. I just think it's an outmatch. You saw it the other week they played. I think the Steelers probably with a little bit more urgency, but man, the Chiefs have looked good of late. They've looked real good. I think they're the team to beat in the AFC, So I think they're going to come out firing on all cylinders. That's just a tough draw for the Steelers. It's a really tough one. I just don't think there's much to say about that one. I just think the Steelers are the more talented team. I said Steelers, didn't I? I meant the Chiefs. Chiefs are a more talented team. I think they win and cover rather easily. And the last game of the week, we have the Cardinals at the Rams. Monday Night Football. Rams are 4-point favorites. There's no injury report listed, so I know J.J. Watt returned to practice. I don't know what the game plan is for DeAndre Hopkins. That's a huge one right there, if he's going to be back or not. So I don't know what to think there. Again, we've also had Matt Stafford making some really weird plays down the stretch for the Rams. So I don't know what to take there. Not having the injury report, it is kind of hard. You just have to kind of infer. The Rams won 30-23 the last time they played. And then the other time they played, the Cardinals won 37-20. So each of them have one game. I really don't know who I think is going to win this game. This one's a weird one too. I just don't know how everybody's going to do with injuries. Again, it's another interdivisional one. I think it's going to be close. Do I think the Cardinals are going to win? Do I think they're going to cover? Do I think the Rams are going to win? Do I think they're going to cover? This one's a really weird game. I think it could go either way. Okay, apologies there. My camera, I had to reformat some stuff. No worries. But I think the Rams are going to win and cover this one. I've just got a feeling about them. I think Stafford has been up and down. He makes some really weird plays. But I just think the Rams are going to do it. I don't know why, but I just feel confident in them right now. So I think the Rams are going to win and cover. But that's going to do it, guys. Those are my wild card picks. I hope you enjoyed. If you want, make sure to check out my video on Sunday. It's going to be a vlog from the game. I'm going to the Bengals wildcard game, so it's going to be a ton of fun. So if you care or you're a Bengals fan, make sure to check it out. I think it's going to be fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed. But until next time, peace out and stay safe.